You already know what it is. It's Tri-Town Tory coming to you live from the Northwest, and we back at it again one time.
This is on blast,
I got you.
but I met you through a friend of a friend, and then I looked into your music on my own. And one of the things that really made me interested and made me want to actually talk to you. Let me get a little bit of music going on here so we don't have dead space. What made me want to talk to you specifically was I saw the marketing. Mm-hmm. I saw that you understand what marketing means to a certain extent. You know how to present yourself in a way that somebody who doesn't know you might take interest in what you do. Where does that come from? Have you always just been the center of attention, fashionista type dude who just likes to drip down head to toe?
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. That's funny because I hear that more from adults than other kids. So a lot of adults will be like, I like how you market your stuff. And I never really thought about it like that. It's just kind of I just like to do things that people that pop kind of. So I think when I was a kid, I was just I was kind of flying under the radar for a really long time. Mm-hmm. And then I started doing things and then noticing that people react to that. If I wear this thing with this color and I do this and I look like that, then people will look at me a certain way, even if it's not a good way. Yeah. And I like that. And
you get a reaction of some sort? Okay.
Yeah, so I was I just was really into getting that reaction. So then I got social media and started putting that online, and it started getting the same type of reaction. So I was like, oh, this is cool. This is it's different. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any rhyme or is there any rhyme or rhythm to when you put things together? Is there a science to it, or do you just go off of what feels right?
Nah, man, I just do what I think is cool. I'll watch a movie or something, and I'll see a character dressed in a certain way that's crazy, right. And I'll just be damn, that's crazy, and then I wear that stuff, but then combine it with something else, and then it's just my own thing.
So it's kind of like music, how
yeah,
you just
exactly.
go with the flow.
Yeah, you have your inspirations, and then you pull a little bit from all of that, and then you put it all together, and that's and then it's your own thing.
That's awesome, because I'll tell you the difference between my era when I was coming up and your era specifically. When I was coming up, you had to make sure that the music was a certain way. Mm-hmm. And then you had to worry about the image and everything after the fact. Today, it seems like you don't get a chance to drop the music unless the image is tight and on a certain point. So it really shows you how things have changed, but I think it's for the better, because in the rapper era, it was all about who had the best lyrics, who had the best punchlines, who had the best delivery, those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And now what I really figured out is who can catch the vibe, or who can really create the vibe the best way. Because whoever does that is going to have the most listeners on Spotify, Apple Music, yada yada yada. You know, let's look at Lil Uzi Vert, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a huge Lil Uzi Vert fan.
Yeah, for sure. He's huge. JXO is a huge Uzi fan. Yeah.
We could take apart why this guy is great.
Yeah.
The fashion sense, that was one of the first things that I noticed about him. Mm-hmm. The dance moves, he's got a unique way of moving on stage. The ad-libs, the harmonizing that he does with autotune, that's another great thing. He's really edgy, really dark, kind of like Playboy Cardi, kind of, I could see them coming from the same cloth.
Vampire shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's all these components that you're putting together to make an artist, and that's why today's fan really gravitates towards it, because it's more of a K-pop thing, as opposed to a rap superstardom thing. Because what I noticed about the K-pop thing was almost that's a new version of the boy band thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's really all about marketing to specific psyches. Because when people see a group of kids, they're like, okay, which one am I? Mm-hmm. That's how I was with the Cash Money Millionaires. Mm. When I saw Lil Wayne, Juvenile, all these guys, I was like, okay, I'm Juvenile. Because I'm the oldest and I can write the best hooks.
Yeah.
You know? So they were wearing soldier rags. I started wearing the camouflage soldier rags with the fucking FUBU, Tommy Hilfiger, all the shit. Because that's what was going on back then.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah, but I feel that for sure, how it's changed and stuff. And I think, I think your image is really important, because you have the attention span is extremely short with people these days. So it's you gotta, any way that you can get people interested, you gotta do that. But I also definitely consider myself very into old school stuff, lyrical and all that. I'm very into that, and I consider myself like a lyrical rapper, but I think it's just I try to be as versatile as I can. So like, there's a lot of people who are like lyrical rappers and stuff, and then they're just kind of like fuck everything else, like fuck everything that's new, like literally like only old school lyrical shit, like it's cool. So I'm like way more open than that. I consider myself lyrical and stuff like that, and like I like boom bap and all that, but I'm also like, this is the new shit, this is cool, this is what I grew up with, I find this stuff cool, so I'm gonna incorporate it to what I'm doing. Like, I'm lyrical, but I'm also like, I like the rock star shit and like pop stuff.
So you're like a hybrid of things you've learned about and things that you are.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that's, it's just trying to be myself.
I think that's great because in order to do this with a passion and to put your heart into it, you have to just be yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you think about things too much, like, oh, there's a rap game that I gotta fit into and I gotta market myself. Yeah. That's why it's weird when I come at people with the marketing shit. But it's like, that's a universal language that at a bare minimum we should be able to understand. Yeah. You know, like, because you know what you know about making money from doing shows or selling CDs or getting streams. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's even things like CDs that are now like vinyl, where a fan will pay $5-10 for a CD if you sign it. Yeah. You know, so there's like little bits of the game that I've learned from picking up over the years, and that I like to give to the younger artists, because there's no reason why you can't make like $1,000 every, you know, couple months by dropping something brand new. Yeah. And just making sure that it's available for people. Yeah. When it comes to the game right now in the Northwest, how do you see yourself as a part of the Northwest? Like, there's a huge movement that's coming along right now. There's a huge wave, and it's all about artists who do it themselves, with the social media, with everything, and they're young and they're coming out of the Northwest right now. Do you feel like you're a big part of a movement that's coming out from out here? How do you see yourself in the game?
I think it's hard because I feel like when I think of the Northwest and Washington and stuff, it's definitely home to me. Like, it feels like my home. But when I see the quote-unquote movement that's happening and stuff like that, like in music, it's hard because I don't really find myself associating with it a ton. There's definitely some artists that I fuck with for sure, but just for the most part, it's just seems like I'm kind of I might be in a different lane than them. Yeah. But I definitely consider myself like a, you know, Pacific Northwest artist and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm part of the bigger movement. I kind of feel like I'm like my own little thing. Okay.
Because I was going to ask, because you have a single called Tri-Town.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, so I have pride in you know, where I come from and here and stuff. But, because that song is like pretty different from a lot of the other stuff that's
especially Tri-Town stuff.
Yeah, circulating around here. And Tri-Town is like not even, like, that's like hella small. Like, you have like Washington and then Seattle and then like everywhere else. And then you have Tri-Cities, and Tri-Town's not even, that's like a slang word for Tri-Cities. So right. So it's like,
Tri-Town Tory.
It's very local, yeah. It's extremely local.
I'll tell you something about the Tri-Cities, though, that might give you a little bit of a different perspective about this area. It's powerful.
Yeah, no, it is. Powerful. I've learned that in the past like year or so. That's not how I saw it at all. Like, I was like when I started doing music and stuff and was living here, I was like, dude, I gotta get out, like, now. Like, I need to get out of here. Yeah. And then, like, I was kind of fucking around and doing some stuff, and then I was like, damn, there's actually, like, opportunity here. Like, there's a lot of opportunity here. There's people who want artists here, who want to go to shows, who want to, like,
all the resources are here.
Yeah, everything,
They're here. Well, look at this. The shooting that happened at Fred Meyer's. Yeah. Within a couple hours, it was on CNN. What things that happen here are so notable that even something like that is all over the news. Yeah. Right away. And what that shows you is that there's people that are connected to people that are connected to people from here. Right? Yeah. So what I always tell these young artists, and when I say young, I don't mean it derogatory.
Nah, bro.
I totally mean it as like just amateur, not amateur, but
dude, you're good. I got you. I know. I'm totally amateur. Yes. Yeah. I'm new. I'm coming out the gate.
I want you guys to understand that the currency or the value of the currency of your hometown really depends on what you make it. Because look what Drake did for Toronto. Yeah. You know, he made Toronto so lit that the most expensive houses in Canada are now in Toronto. Yeah. Because when you make something pop, the whole fucking city, there's a ripple effect that goes outwards. That's why Seattle is what it is. Mm-hmm. That's why I always had beef with. I should be careful how I word this. There's a certain Seattle movement that I had beef with at a certain time period, and it was because they were trying to say that everything else in Washington was hillbilly shit, and that Seattle was the only place to look for anything.
I see.
And I was really upset with it because I know a handful of artists that are out here that would shred Seattle apart, like insanely, but we can't really do that in our own home because it's like when two idiots fight,
exactly,
who's the winner, right? So what I always wanted to say is, like, I wanted to be the Drake of the Tri-Cities. Meaning that I could figure out a way to hack the algorithm, to tap in to the circles that are invisible and bring notoriety and bring all sorts of attention and everything to the Tri-Cities. And we're at the very beginning of that stage. Very beginning.
Bro, I feel like Tri-Cities is, like, so weird. Like, I feel like it's growing, but it's in this weird state where it's like Tri-Cities is like an awkward teenager. Like, it's like not really like nothing, but it's not really like an adult yet. It's in this weird yet. Like it's like it's going through puberty. Like, it doesn't really know what it wants to be yet. Does that make sense?
I like that. But the way that you put that, I like that, because usually all it takes is that first break. For that kid who's going through puberty to become.
It's a good analogy.
To become a lady slayer, right? You just need that break, and that's what it's all about. Let's shift gears here for a second. How did you meet your buddy here? And give us a little bit of an introduction about your guys' music-ship, kinship, relationship.
Okay, yeah. So this is Trix. So God actually made us meet because I met him at church. So I was in like youth group and stuff. My parents were making me go to youth group, and he was there. We were going there for a while. Never hung out or anything. Like why did we even decide to start hanging out?
Because of the camp.
Oh yeah. So we were going to this youth group every Sunday, and then one time there was this camp, and we both were at the camp. So now you have a bunch of teenagers all cooped up in this little house thing. And I was like, oh, well, we should start just hanging out. And so we started doing fucking mischievous shit. And, like, I think the first night we were staying at this, like, 2-story house, and we, like, took everybody's laundry, their pants, and we tied it together, and we threw it over the balcony, and we climbed out, and we, like, snuck out, and just, like, we were, like, running amok around the campsite.
Savage.
Yeah, it was really fun, but... Yeah, so we just been on that shit for a while. And music, how long were we friends before? Like, because I've always been doing music, not like recording, just like writing. But he wasn't always doing music. I think, how long did it take?
I started pretty like recently. I can't even remember now because I haven't been keeping track of it for a minute. But I started, I think, in like my maybe my junior year of high school. And so maybe 3-4 years? I think probably 3 years.
So we were like friends for like a year?
Yeah, probably about, because I think I became friends with you like in my sophomore year, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, because we were going on a trip. I like to travel a lot, so we were going on a trip to Oregon, and we were in the car, and I don't even remember what was going on, but he was having some issues with some random guy, and I was hella into music, and we already had, like, music in common because we loved, like, listening to NF and Eminem and, like, Joyner Lucas and all this, Hobson and stuff. And so we were in the car, and I was like, bro, why don't you just write a diss track on him? Like, bro, just do it. Like, it's, like, a good way to vent. Yeah. And so then he started writing this little diss track, and it was, like, pretty fire, so I think he just...
It wasn't fire, don't lie.
Okay, it wasn't fire, but it was, like, he's never done anything before, so it was, like, fire enough to be like, oh, maybe you should, like, do more stuff.
Yeah. I think it took a while to turn into anything because obviously like we were at different levels because he's been doing it since he was like 8, and then I didn't start until like a few years ago. So it's like it took me a while to like get to a point where...
The potential was there though, for sure. The potential was there.
Once we started working together, like we noticed, and that's why we formed our Gutta Boys group recently, is because we noticed all the songs that we do together always do the best numbers. Yeah. So we're like, fuck it.
It's just a good combination.
Yeah, let's make a group and
chemistry.
Yeah.
Start killing shit.
Yeah, it's just pretty easy to work together and stuff.
Gutta Boys.
Yeah, Gutta Boys.
That's the name?
Yep. Yeah.
How do you guys come up with Gutter Boys?
Man, how did I come up with that? I came up with that. How did I come up with that?
Yeah, no, he did.
You're not the Beyonce of the group. It's all good.
That was his whole idea.
I don't even remember. I think I was just cause I'm hella into Lil Peep, and he had Goth Boy Click, and I was like, damn, Goth Boy Click, that sounds so sick. Like,
you wanted something with a G.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I need like something like that. So at first it was Gutter Boy Click. It was Gutter Boy Click. And I was like, bro, that's like it, bro. Like, it was like, and I was like, at that point, I was on like some vampire shit. So I was like, we're gonna be all like emo, and it's gonna be so sick.
Nice.
Like, Gutter Boy Click. And then I was like, damn, it's like so obvious that I'm just like ripping their style. Yeah. So I was like, all right, drop the click, make it Gutter Boys, and I'm not really like emo like that. So neither are they. So I was like, all right, we'll just be like, I guess we'll just be normal rappers. And yeah, and that was pretty much it. But, yeah. So I came up with the concept of Gutter Boys like 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago, and it recently became a thing like a few months ago, because it was just something that I wasn't trying to rush or anything. I just knew it was gonna happen. I was like, I'm gonna, it was always me and him, so I was like, we're gonna be adding people eventually. So,
what was the vision for it?
So it's still. Gutter Boys is like in its infancy right now.
Yeah.
Like this is like
brand new.
This is like core group. Like these are the OGs. But what
today's the 1 week mark of when we put out our first song
is Gutter Boys. Yeah. But I think the vision that I had for it is like 2 of everything, because it started out with just 2 of us. So I was thinking, okay, 2 writers, 2 producers, 2 filmmakers, 2 like clothing designers, like something like that. Like because I just really like the way of like having someone else to work with. Like it helps me. I feel like we push each other, like it's good. So I'm like, okay, what if we had a whole team and then everybody had someone to help push them in like what they're doing. Okay. So that's just kind of like how I
like a Wu-Tang or Odd Future, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, yeah, Odd Future was definitely like part of the inspiration. So was Wu-Tang for sure. And then like I said, Goth Boy Click. There's definitely like a lot of groups that I fuck with, and so I was like, I want to have one. So. But
you see yourself working in harmony with a group of people as opposed to leading a whole team of people, right?
Like I'm not, like, I don't know shit about producing or anything, and like when we have our filmmakers and other stuff or whoever's about to come, like they're, like if you're in the group, then you're adding something that I can't add.
Right.
So I'm not gonna like, be over you. Like you're doing something that I can't do. Like he does stuff I can't do.
Right.
So I'm not like over him or anything. Like
True.
He does hella stuff I can't do. So and so does he. So it's like we're all. I think of it as more as like being like a machine. Yeah. There's no. I mean, I don't really know about shit about machines, but but like I'm pretty sure like if you take one of the parts out, like it's probably gonna fuck up the whole thing. So that's kind of how I see it. Like you need all of the parts for it to work.
Yeah.
So.
No, I like it, man. So let's go back to you for a quick bit. Smalls. Mm-hmm. I know everybody in the world is gonna think they know where the name comes from.
Yeah.
But where does the name come from, Smalls?
It comes from exactly where everyone thinks it comes from. It was so we're going back to church camp. I was over there. Some guy. It was my first camp, so I didn't know anybody. And I walk into the cabin, and I'm still pretty small, but like back then I was like tiny. I was hella tiny, and I was the youngest in like the whole cabin. I was a freshman. Everybody else was upperclassmen. And I walked in there, and I didn't know anybody, so I was like just being all like shy and shit in the corner. And I still had hella style, so all the girls were like commenting on my drip and stuff. And one of the guys, we were walking outside to go somewhere, and one of the guys was like, I don't even remember. He just called me Smalls, and everyone just thought that was like funny. And at the time I was like, that's kind of sick. So I was like, yeah, I'm Smalls. And none of these people knew me, so now he's going around introducing everyone. Saying that I'm Smalls, so then everybody starts calling me Smalls, and then we go back to the church, and everyone starts calling me Smalls, and now he knew me as Smalls, like he never even like.
I don't call him Cole when we talk. He's always. It's
so it wasn't even like, oh, I need a rap name. It was so natural. It's like, bro, this is just what they call me. So it was never like
That's how
I
it
need
happens,
to think of a name. Yeah.
When everybody takes to it like wildfire, that's when you know you have the name.
Yeah. So now I'm stuck with it.
What about you? How did Tricks
It's my name is the worst name ever, and
Bro,
I wish I could change it, but
I like Tricks, bro. I really do.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but Tricks is. I kind of like. I like Tricks in the beginning because it's like it's just try and then just some shit that like rappers or people put on the end of their names. It's just XX. So but Tricks put it together.
Hey, you could always modify it. Tricks of the trade. You could always throw something in there.
I really like the fact that he incorporated Tri-Cities, like try to put that on there. I really like that, but
I think
like it at all.
the thing that I don't like I think the name is fine in everything that it is. I just think I didn't realize like this wasn't it. I came up with the name in a point where I wasn't really like that into like how I was presenting myself in music or how important a name really is. So I didn't really look into how many other people or things pop up before me when you look up Tricks.
So there was the little strategy because you were just on the porch with it. You didn't expect to hop off the porch so quickly.
But we'll get up there. And I can't see you as anything else besides like if you change your name to anything, because like we've been doing this for years, bro, and I've been calling him Tricks the whole time. You can't change his name, what?
Well, I'll just have to be the best Tricks.
Unless you change it to Manny.
I'm not changing my name to fucking Manny. I'm Tricks. I'll stick with Tricks.
Ooh, Manny Tricks, man. That kind of goes hard. Like you're a man of Manny Tricks. You know what I'm saying?
Manny Tricks of the trade.
Nah, but that the thing I'll tell you about a name. Because I rebranded. My first original rap name was Bowser Vic. That was my freestyle battle rap name, and I started writing records. When it came time to rebrand, I thought about how I wanted to be looked at from the outside point of view. And I wanted a rap name that if somebody was to be like, oh, that's like my kid. Oh, that's my dad. What's your dad's name? Tory North. It just makes a lot more sense than, oh, my dad's name is Bowser Vic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like how you want to be looked at, how you want to be presented in a certain way. Because if you look at how I do things, there's a blurred line between where Tory North ends and where Victor starts. I live my life in this culture, so like at any given moment, I can snap back into the Tory North mode. So you really just have to look at it like that, because when you're young, a nickname is supposed to signify a bunch of shit, but when you're older, it just signifies who you are. You know what I'm saying? And that's 20 years in the game, because I was doing all the things that you guys were doing at your age. You know what I'm saying? So I'm what happens when you figure out what you want to do later on in the game. And right now for me, I have to be the whole fucking label. I have to be the whole power horse, because if I was to wait for a team to pull themselves together, we would be waiting 100 years before anything happens. You're at that young stage period where everybody's still kind of like in the freedom mode where they can be, I'm a video guy, I'm a producer, I'm this and that. In that time period, do this, collect it all, put it together, mold it, because the faster that the spearhead can make it a real thing, the longer that the rest of the people can invest in time into making this a longer longevity play. Because if you aren't showing promise that you are going to be somewhere in 5 years, let alone 10 years, the people who are around you are only going to invest a certain amount of time and effort into what you're doing, because they have to hop onto a safe route themselves. Yeah. So if they see like, oh no, this dude's getting 100,000 plays here, 100,000 plays there, they're asking him to tour, they're asking him to do a bunch of things, I'm going to put my money on him. And that's how you kind of get everything going in that manner. So I don't always want to like lead with that, but to everybody who's making music, who's taking it serious, I kind of want to let them know like there's a certain time period for you to kind of get your shit together, and then there's a certain time period for you to have it together, and then there's a time period for everything to hit and nothing to miss. And you guys are right now, or you get your shit together mode. Yeah. And that's great. If partying doesn't get in the way, I have to say drug use and toxic girlfriends, and if that shit doesn't get in the way, then there's no reason why you're not going to leave that first stage and move on to the next stage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel that. And that was a thing for sure, because I'm very social, extremely social. I really like people and like partying and stuff like that. So I had really long hair. I had super long hair, and it was my pride and joy. It was my favorite feature about myself.
I'm glad you brought up the hair.
And yeah, so it was my favorite thing about myself, bro. And I started to notice we got back from California and some shit, and I started to notice I was slipping up a little bit and kind of getting distracted and shit. And so I remember one day I just came home from work and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I'm shaving my head. The hair's gonna go. I'm not gonna party. Like, I'm not gonna get drunk or anything. And so I did it. It was horrible. It was like, I hated how I looked. But I'm still, for everyone listening, I'm still bald right now. Like, I have no hair, and I haven't drank or done anything. I think I got high once, but I haven't partied, like, hard or anything like that. So, no girlfriends or anything. So, I'm just, like, been doing this shit the whole time since then, for, like, a few months straight.
I'll tell you what, man. There's been times in my life where I've had, like, spiritual awakenings.
Yeah.
And I shaved the motherfucking hair off.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It just felt like something I need. I was like, that's just, like, the natural progression of my character.
Nobody teaches you to do that?
Yeah.
It's an instinctual thing? I mean, maybe Britney Spears
taught
us
a
little
she's
bit about
influenced us all.
She was the first one to really go bald. To cleanse her soul.
Yeah.
Right? But I think there's something really cool about you knowing that there's something magnetic about you that's superficial.
Yeah.
And then parting ways with it, and then facing the reality of what comes with not being the long-haired, popular fucking party guy.
Yeah.
And being the bald-headed,
the weird bald-headed ass kid that just like
moody,
makes music.
Emotional musician.
Yeah,
right?
That just sits in his room all day making.
I saw
music.
you post something with the bald head, and I was like, "Is this the rollout?" Like, I wasn't sure if you were dropping the project with, like, if you were changing the image just to drop like, this is the era, the bald head era.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think I don't know. Because I'm still sort of. I think honestly, the warm up EP, which is what I dropped, is kind of like the prequel to like what I'm about to do. But before the even like it's like setting up from what I'm about to do. So I think the warm up EP was long haired era, and then everything after that is gonna be short hair era. Cause like
I'm glad you brought the warm up because I was watching your promotion for it. And I seen that you were getting stoked and amped that it was catching fire. That people were starting to pay attention to it and stream it.
Yeah.
From what I looked at it as, it looked all organic.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Right? And that's really impressive because we live in an era where people will fake shit and then front like it's organic all day. And hey, if that's the way the music industry is, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you
that doesn't mean that we have to do that.
Hey, good time to promote your new song.
That's a good segue, bro.
I've never been that kind of person who, and we can definitely segue into what you want to segue into, but I've just always been authenticity over everything. If I get 500 plays or 1,000 plays on something, then that's what it's worth, and that's what it means to me. I don't need to blow something up to be 50,000, 100,000, and then it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, exactly. So no, that's so funny because I'm dropping a song this Friday, so it'll probably, I don't know how long these take to get out, but
shit, we could drop it tonight.
It'll probably
if you want to push it, we can drop it tonight.
So yeah, you could drop this tonight. So I'll have a song out this Friday, and it's the song's called Streams, and it's about how I kind of don't really fuck with people buying fake streams.
Okay.
Because I've been getting some streams lately, and it feels good to get streams, but you look around and you see everyone else has these fake streams, so it kind of drowns your success out. I got like 50,000 streams, and I'm like looking around, and everyone has hella streams, but they're all like buying them. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, no one's seeing what I'm doing because everybody around me is buying streams. So I literally made I made that song like 2 days ago, and then we just dropped it yesterday. Said that to drop on Friday. So I definitely agree with that 100%.
I love that that's the stance you're taking because nobody has the courage to hit that kind of topic head on. Yeah. Especially someone who's getting organic love. Right? So you doing that is going to open up the conversation of where you stand as far as the underground and the Northwest.
Yeah, and it's hard, bro, because a lot of people do it, and it's like there's people that I fuck with as people that are doing that, and it's hard because it's like obviously as a human being, I respect them, and you know they're another person, but this is a business, and on the business side of it, I don't think that that's fair to what this. I mean,
it is. They will like. Obviously, it's not natural. You're not supposed to do it. If services find out you're doing it, they will take you down.
Yeah,
exactly.
Take you down.
You're not supposed to be doing it, so it's just kind of like I have to say what I have to say, and you know?
And I think that comes naturally with just being, here's that fucking word again, a younger artist. Because I will tell you this, it doesn't matter because you're the winner.
Yeah.
If everything you're doing is organic, then you don't even need to make a fucking song.
Yeah.
But the fact that you are going to make a song is only going to drop it on their heads, because it's going to hurt and sting a little bit if you know that you're the one who's over here doing that kind of shit and getting attention, getting, getting free weed, getting pussy. Like, you're getting all these fucking benefits from having this big inflated falsehood of a play stream count when there's guys who are really out here.
You didn't earn, that you didn't do. Yeah.
You're out here getting it out the mud. And the one thing that I always say is that if you're authentic at the end of the day, people will fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Because, like look at me, for example. I'm not the most poppin' artist in the Northwest, let alone in the Tri-Town area. But everything that I've ever done was really me.
Yeah.
I'm really that guy.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, you can respect what I do or what I say because you know that my fingerprint's on it.
Exactly.
I don't just pull shit out of the fucking air and make it like an abstract painter. I don't do that. I paint from blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you're that kind of guy too.
Yeah, just as like a listener, like not even as an artist, just someone who listens to music, I'm gonna respect the artist that is actually doing what they're saying and actually like working for their shit versus someone who's like doesn't really care enough to actually put their real time and energy into something and like actually make it happen for real, and they're just kind of like lying to you and making it seem like it's happening, but it's not really happening.
They're just trying to skate by.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
On the topic of plays and streams and that nature, I kind of want to segue into TikTok.
Yeah.
Because
you should focus on him.
We'll have him definitely chime in on this. But TikTok specifically, I noticed that there was a campaign, or a little bit of a campaign that was derived of a song where you were compared to like Triple X or something like that. You know what I'm saying? What's the whole TikTok? What's all of that about? Let's talk about that. What's going on with your guys' presence on TikTok? What's going on with viral? What's going on with all that?
Yeah, so I'll say something real quick and then I'll give it over to you. But I think so with that, we were kind of planning on doing this daily TikTok thing where we do a TikTok every single day, and hopefully we get some traction and stuff. It was something new because we slept on TikTok for a while, and we were like, oh, we should do this. And so I wasn't even like about to do that. I wasn't like ready for anything. I was still doing music, chilling, and then one day he decided that he was gonna start doing the daily TikTok thing, and on the first TikTok, the first one that he did, it blew the fuck up. And you can. That's all you.
Yeah.
You can talk
so
on
from that one like he was saying, I was planning on doing the daily thing, and on day one, posting a TikTok about Smalls, like, oh, Smalls is gonna, or this guy. I framed it in a way that I didn't really know Smalls because the way I looked at it was in watching these TikToks and paying attention to what like blows up and does numbers and what you have to say to do this and that. Yeah. I'm very focused on that type of thing. Like I always pay really close attention to the people who are doing the most numbers. Yeah. So we can find an original way to do the same thing. Right. You know? Yeah. Totally. And so with the TikTok, it was just this kid came into my studio and he's saying he's going to be the next XX Tentacion, and he's doing shoot 'em up, dead, kill everybody, where he's saying all black fist still stunt you just.
Yeah, just screaming.
Yeah, he's just screaming, and and that's gonna. I know that's gonna do some numbers because people ride or die for X, right? Yeah. And it's like people who hear the song might like the song, and then that benefits streams, and people who don't like the song and leave a comment, oh, you're never going to be like X, which he never even said. I just said that because, and I asked him about it, obviously, before I posted it, but because I want to be honest with the people around me and stuff about what we're doing, and so after I put that up, it's like, so those people who are leaving a comment and hating on it only push more people who might like it by driving the video's numbers, and then and it will it'll come back around into streams, and that's how we got on Spotify like 22,000 plays on
just on Spotify. Yeah,
so that's where the growth came from.
Yeah, just TikTok.
Oh, massive.
And now he's got like 4K on TikTok.
Yeah, so I have 4K and he has 20K followers on TikTok.
Yeah, it's I've stayed a little bit consistent with it. I think Smalls has just been, I don't know what exactly it is, but the thing is, that was kind of like my thing in the first place. I was the one like, guys, we should do the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they ever like dropped off. They just never like started like running with it too. So when Smalls does, don't get me wrong, he has a lot of people who want him to keep posting. Like all the time on my TikTok, people are like, where'd Smalls go?
Yeah.
Da, da, da. You know, so it's like I've started my like own kind of buzz with that, and just I don't always do like I always do music related stuff to keep the attention focused on music, because if you get an audience that isn't focused on music, you try to transfer them over, it's not going to work.
Right.
So by doing that, and like I'll do videos, like one of my most popular series is This Is Why Your Favorite Rapper Sucks. And obviously, okay, like I do not care like that much about like I don't hate these rappers.
Like
I'm not I'm not wishing any like ill will upon these people.
Right.
Like I love
It's
all
the
sorts of
internet.
type of music.
Yeah.
I'm
entertainment, bro.
I'm fucking trolling on TikTok.
Yeah, he's trolling.
And that series has gotten me millions of views on my page, and and a lot of people comment and are interested in our stuff now. And I think pushing through TikTok is how we got this brand new account, brand new everything with Gutta Boys. We have over 200 monthly listeners and 2,000 plays across platforms. 200 monthly listeners just on Spotify, but about 2,000 plays across all platforms. Just because of fucking TikTok.
Yeah, we
like,
made that last week. Yeah.
It's like in 1 week, I couldn't imagine doing those kind of numbers. I don't know if people who are gonna listen saw the post on my story, so I'm gonna say it again. I put something on my story about people like I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. I like start somewhere and then I like run across that. Sometimes I lose.
Point is, TikTok's very
What's your guys' TikTok handle? So if people wanted to pull up your guys' stuff.
Yeah, so mine is smalls_509.
6 tricks.
It's JXO Beats FR.
Okay, so we're gonna shift over from TikTok and bring your man in on the producer. If you want to move your chair a little forward.
Hey, you want to switch seats, Jackson?
I wanna.
No.
I kind of want to incorporate you a little bit more into this. So, you're a producer.
Yeah.
When did you get started producing?
I've been producing since like 7th grade. My dad got my sister Studio One. It's a DAW. And I just started messing around with that. And I've been doing it pretty consistently. Not like, I wasn't even into rap back then. But I've been doing it consistently since then. And then maybe about a year ago, I got FL Studio, and I've been doing it since then. I've been making beats, and then, however many months ago, 5 months ago,
Not even, probably maybe like 3
probably
or 4.
less. It was like right when school started back up again, so like August or whatever.
Yeah. I
started having Smalls come in, and he would record because I had a microphone set up, and then I would mix the tracks for him. And the first couple were pretty doo-doo. They weren't, because I didn't have any experience in mixing, but now I'm pretty much mixing all their songs for them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm getting in there and recording. Even at his studio, I go in and help them record.
So how do you grow that fast in that short amount of time? Is it just by practice, or is it YouTube tutorials? As far as mixing goes,
the YouTube tutorials were definitely part of it, but I don't know what it was. I kind of just figured it out fast.
think,
just like
I think it's the, like, honestly, I really believe in the, like, having people around you who want to do the same thing that you're doing, because we were definitely there to be like, Jackson, like, let's work today, like, let's make sure we're still working, let's do this. So pushing them and stuff, and
I would not be like, regardless of like just like producing like vocals and stuff, even just making beats like by myself, I would not be as good as I am if they hadn't been like pushing me to work every single day for the last couple of months. Like it's insane how much progress I've had.
Awesome. What would you say is your like foundational style? Like who are some producers that you look up to and be like, these guys are like hardwired into my influence?
Definitely the first person I think of is Nick Mira.
Okay.
I've watched like his live streams. He's put up live streams of him just producing tracks, straight up producing like 10 tracks, 3 hours, and I'll just watch it because I'm just like captured by it. It's very interesting to me. Yeah, and that's how I started. Yeah. Making like Juice WRLD type beats. And then there's obviously some YouTubers. Holy is one YouTube producer that I follow a lot. Cody, he's another Internet Money guy. Those guys are my biggest inspiration. Internet Money, yeah. And then obviously I love Dr. Dre.
If you had to put I want to do that. If you had to do like what is it, Mount Rushmore? With the four heads.
Oh yeah.
The four faces of producers. Could you do that? Could you pick 4 producers that would be on your Mount Rushmore?
Definitely Nick Mira, Dr. Dre. See that.
That's tough, right?
It's hard to think of them on the spot. What else do I make?
Bro. Yeah, that's all you, bro.
Yeah, because this is an influence, so this is the shit that's in your iPod.
Oh, J. Cole. I can't believe I forgot J.
He's
Cole.
He's a great producer. Yeah.
Yeah, I love J. Cole's production. He's like one of my favorite artists of all time.
Favorite J. Cole beat?
J. Cole. Ah, crap. I mean, obviously.
Bro, No Role Models. Are you kidding?
Yeah, obviously, No Role Models is crazy.
Mine's High Power.
Which one?
High Power.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know that one. Oh, Kendrick. Yeah. Yeah, Kendrick is up there. But I think Kanye I'd put above him. I'm not.
Well, Kendrick rapped over J. Cole High Power.
Huh?
J. Cole produced High Power.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, Kendrick isn't a producer, to my knowledge. Actually, I think him and Baby Keem have been producing.
Yeah, Kendrick produces some stuff.
Yeah.
He's fire. I love his production, but.
Sorry to interrupt you. You were saying another name after that.
Yeah, Kanye. He's
Kanye.
Like best producer of all time.
What do you think about this era that Kanye's in right now? This last couple years.
I love it.
It's wild, isn't it?
I love the music side. I feel for him as a person. I don't love all the controversies and
because we know who he is, and you kind of feel sorry for him. You know?
Yeah, the whole situation with Kim. But
I think that he's so cutting edge that he's doing something that in the future is gonna not look weird at all. He's the interactive superstar, the interactive billionaire. Because who gives you that much access to them when they're this deep in the game and this successful? Like, no one does.
Nobody. It's just Kanye.
Yeah.
Look at Jay-Z. If you don't get him near something that's trendy for a second, you won't see him. You know? Like, he hopped on Instagram and then deactivated it. He hopped on Twitter and then deactivated. You know, like, that's how these guys are moving. Because they think less is more. But I think Kanye always knew that it didn't matter how much he gave of himself, because it was himself and he could stand behind that product. So he could give you, this oversaturated Kanye product, and you were going to love it because it was like a moment in time. It's like his Picasso era, if you were to like make him a painter of some sort, right? So I think that being that he was a producer is really special because he even comes out and says I'm not really even a producer. I don't really know how to play any instruments. He's like, but I did it. And I became the best at it. I think there's something really special about that kind of drive.
Yeah.
And I would say ego to a certain extent, but we know what ego can do too as well. It's probably part of the reason why he's able to be made fun of the way he does, because of how big his ego is, But to shift, we could talk about Kanye for hours.
Yeah.
That's a whole different podcast in itself. He's one of my favorites, top 5 definitely. But I'm gonna shift it from you on the top 4 producers to you two. I want to know who your top 4 artists in general. Like if you were to pull up your iPod, your Spotify, whatever, and you wanted to show somebody 4 artists that mean something to you. Who are 4 that you can think of right off top?
Oh God, I gotta go with Eminem at the top, obviously.
There we go.
Eminem, NF. If we're talking about artists that really mean something to you, Eminem, NF, Logic. I know there's people cringing at this list. Jackson's shaking his head right now. But this is me. Hey, this is me. This is who I am, bro.
Hey, let him be, Jackson.
These are the people that baby. So Eminem, NF, Logic, and you said 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Kanye at that number 4 spot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kanye being in that group is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Nice. All right, and your turn.
So nobody wants to hear the white guy say Eminem, but first of all, I'm Latino, motherfuckers.
Yeah, bro, we're
second of
Mexican.
all,
Wait a minute. What? You're
Yeah.
Latino?
Bro, he's more than me. More than me.
My name is Manuel. That's my name.
That's his real name. I'm 25%. He's 50%.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes. This is okay.
I know.
If we're
I've
doing
been cursed,
the
bro.
visual podcast, it'd be
I know,
alright.
it'd be more exciting. Yeah, there's a camera facing you guys. I turn it around. Surprise, bitch.
Okay, so Eminem.
Yeah, Eminem is gonna be my number one. I would have never started making music if it wasn't for Eminem. Eminem got me. I have always kind of like needed an outlet for like hitting something or just violence because I don't I love people, but it's really easy for me to
There's
like
a fire inside.
yeah.
Tap into that.
So for most of my life, I did martial arts, fighting, all that to get that out. And in high school, I injured my shoulders, so I kind of I lost my path of wanting to go into the SEALs, and I needed to find a new place to put all of that emotion. So I found music, and I found Eminem, and anybody who listens to Eminem knows he's fucking insane.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got to be my number one because he
Definitely.
just brought me to a point where I could find a place to express what I couldn't anymore.
Yeah.
And number 2, I've got to say Kanye is my number 2.
Okay.
You know,
Very dope.
he's just fucking insane, like in more ways than one.
Yeah.
He's like just so much of him, and I didn't discover Kanye until recently. Me and Smalls,
Yeah,
like,
bro, I was not on that wave.
yeah,
Really?
we
Nah,
kind
'cause
of like.
I was sorry to
Yeah.
cut real quick,
Yeah,
but
go ahead, go ahead.
grew up in a house where music that had cussing was not allowed.
Ah.
So, because remember, like we met at church
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was pretty sheltered on the music side. Like all the artists that I listened to when I was a kid were like Christian rappers. Shout out Lecrae, shout out Andy Mineo.
Yep.
And that's how I got into NF. Because he didn't cuss, so I was allowed to listen to him. So I wasn't listening. I didn't find out about Eminem, Kanye, like literally anyone mainstream. I didn't find out about them until I was like a sophomore in high school.
Holy smokes.
So yeah.
That blows my mind because like not to take it back to me, but when I started off, I listened to hip hop on the radio.
Mhm.
You know, G Thang,
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, all that shit was on the radio when I was a little kid. And then fast forward, I was digging in the crates to pull out Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt,
Yeah.
Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. So I was always, and I started off rapping by Eminem too.
Mm-hmm.
8 Mile. When 8 Mile came out, I went to the movie theater with my cousins, and I was like 11 or 12 years old. And right then and there, I knew that I'm like, okay, Mexicans can do this shit too.
Yeah.
You know, like because white meant Mexicans can do this shit too.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
Because the way I looked at it is like no offense, but you know, when a white guy comes into a party and wants to rap, you kind of have to let him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
No, you can rap, homie. You know,
Yeah.
but like if a Mexican wanted to come into like. And I'm talking from experience.
Mm.
Okay, there's been times where I've gotten fucking punched when I was in
Yeah.
the cypher rapping.
Yeah.
So like it was really like a hood thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had to come from the hood in order to really rap back in the day, and that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So now there is like hood white guys,
Mm-hmm.
but back in the day they weren't really represented.
Yeah. No, they
Right?
weren't on the stage.
Right, they weren't represented. I guess Eminem was the first representation
Yeah.
of the hood
Yeah.
white guy.
Yeah.
Right?
He
Yeah,
made it
for sure.
possible.
All
It
right.
made it possible.
Finish your list.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I got so Kanye obviously up there, insane producer, did everything out of his bedroom. Out of his bedroom, he got people like Jay-Z to pay attention to him. But
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Definitely.
Number 3, it's so hard to have a Mount Rushmore just because there's so many good artists. But can I do a group for?
Sure.
I gotta say Wu-Tang.
Okay.
For
Yeah,
my
for
number
sure.
3, because they just also got into them around the same time as Kanye. Smalls got me into them too,
Nice.
and they're just like, I think something about them. They were like one of the like first people to make hip hop like turn in the direction where it is today, where it's like they really started, more than it became more than just the like to the hip and the hop and they
evolved it.
They pioneered them. So that's hella respect to them. And number 4, I gotta say he's a smaller artist, but all the music that we have like I've been in the mindset of and putting out in like this last few months is because of him. And I gotta say my number 4 is Lil Darky. I'm not sure if you're aware of him.
I'm not sure.
He's a guy. He's out of California. He's not incredibly small, but he's got like couple million on socials. He's got like a couple million monthly listeners. So he's not
mainstream.
No, he's not. He's definitely
big
not
in the underground, but he's
bubbling.
not mainstream.
Yeah,
he's
bubbling. He's a very controversial figure in what he says because
in what ways?
He's like there's like woke people, and then he's like Lil Darky's like mega woke, where it's like some people would use the term based. He's just very he thinks about things as like people should understand each other and love each other, and he's like a very like psychedelic type of dude, right?
Okay.
And but he uses his music in kind of the same way I defined another outlet for my anger. He started off making positive music, and he just found that it brought more negative vibes into his life. So all of his music talks about super controversial topics and subjects because he wants to expel that from him, Like he's a very spiritual person. And also because he hates censorship, he wants people to share ideas, right? Okay. Which I agree with. I don't think even if someone has a bad opinion, let everyone else tell them they have a bad opinion.
Right.
Don't block them from even having one.
Like anti-censorship.
Yeah. They nobody's gonna learn like that. But if you're not familiar with Darky's music, he has songs like titled The Holocaust, Shoot People You Don't Like, shit like that. So he's very edgy.
Is he edgy for the sake of being edgy, or is there always some sort of meaning behind
I think it really is like meaning behind it.
I think so.
And I think that's what really made him pop.
So he'll bring an audience by the title of the Holocaust, but it's not going to be what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not going to be like he's bashing the Holocaust or something like that.
It's not like he would never
bashing the Holocaust.
Yes, but thank you. But thanks for because we need to unpack that.
Yeah.
Definitely, Whoopi Goldberg is getting her fucking head cut off.
Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. But yes, to move forward, that's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's basically like if he had a song called "Slavery is Bad," it's because that's what he means. Slavery is bad.
He very much means what he says when he says it. And,
cool.
Or because like I said, the Lil Darky is his character, and he wants to. Lil Darky, I think, in his mind is. And obviously, go watch an interview with him because don't take it from my perspective. Mm-hmm. But he says it's Darky is a flawed human, but he's basically all the negative that Joshua, which is Lil Darky, all of his negativity expelled.
Okay. I'm gonna have to actually look him up because that sounds really interesting. I have to ask you guys a question. How do you feel about Tom McDonald?
I don't pay attention, honestly. I really don't. I've seen some videos. I've heard a song or two before. I remember one time my dad was like, "Yo, check this out."
That does seem like something your dad would say.
Yeah, show me a song. And I was like, all right, he can rap, like that's cool, but I don't know. I haven't really paid attention that much.
All right, so I made why your favorite rapper sucks on Tom McDonald, and that was a recommendation by one of the comments that I got, and I think every once in a while he has an idea that makes sense, and I think a lot of the time he presents it in a way that's kind of cringe to me.
Yeah,
but I think
heavy on the cringe.
Yeah,
heavy.
I think some of this. I think he does. Say and bring up some good things, but I think usually the way he presents it isn't a way that I personally enjoy.
Right. He's kind of got like a 6ix9ine thing going on.
Yeah, he's a little.
But like less hard.
Yeah, he's a white 6ix9ine.
The 6ix9ine was hard when he came out. No, actually, when he first came out, a lot of people would say that 6ix9ine seemed like the real deal. Like,
really?
I mean,
I'm not one of them, but people would say like, "Oh, this guy seems like he's really in the streets, and he's calling for people to come look for him." You know, the whole gimmick and stuff.
Yeah.
The reason why I brought up Tom McDonald specifically was because he's one of those guys that if you consider yourself a serious hip hop head, you automatically hit no. You know, you hit reject on what he is because you can see what that is. You could see the hamster on the wheel like in his head, like, and he's just obviously an attention seeker who wants that fucking attention so bad that he'll look a certain way, he'll say a certain thing, and what we're witnessing now is that he's cultivated a little shit fan base, and now he's catering to them.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think probably in the beginning he was really meaning what he says, but I think he now he almost just likes to poke the bear.
So is he trying to be like mega woke, but he's not, or what?
He's trying to use it. He's trying to use like YouTube conspiracy core is
Gotcha.
what I would call him.
Okay, I see.
Because if he's like the equivalent to staying up all night and going down a YouTube rabbit hole. That's what he is now.
Yeah.
But when he first came out, it was like, okay, I'm trying to be a white Joyner Lucas or fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where they would do a song with a meaning and a music video, and it was all wrapped up together. Like this is a project.
Yeah.
This is another project. And Joyner's out of this fucking world. Like, no one's touching him. Like as far as I mean, Hobson can't even. I mean, in my opinion, Hobson can't really do what Joyner does.
Yeah,
and that's
I think they're different artists.
Yeah.
They're different, but I think that the people would try to put them in the same.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And Tom would unfortunately be tried to be put in the same sort of lane.
Yeah.
But that goes back to the whole marketing and how people look at music, like from a monetary standpoint. How do you feel about Joyner Lucas? Like,
I freaking
that's
love
a good
him.
palate cleanser.
Yeah, no, I love Joyner. I relate. I have ADHD, so that project, hit home real hard for me. I like him. His ability to rap is insane. And the stuff that he chooses to talk about, I really like that too. Like he's not just on some fuck shit, but he's actually like talking about stuff. But yeah, I think you put me on to him, right?
I might have. Yeah, I got into Joyner from. I found out about him through listening to him on Eminem's Kamikaze album, and
great album.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think a lot of people shit on it too much. I think it's a good.
I never listened to it if they shit on it.
I think Eminem does have his moments on there, but I think for the most part, it's a good album.
You're right. He has like 2 songs on there.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. Do you guys think that Eminem is fucking these girls that he puts on his songs?
What do you mean? Definitely.
Yeah, probably.
He's not married, and he's like the most famous white guy in the world. Why the fuck would he?
Because it's just weird how from an artist standpoint, there's been times where I've lifted up the velvet rope and made things happen.
Yeah.
And yes, I had something to do with that girl, right? Yeah. So I know what it looks like when somebody's lifting the velvet rope and making something happen. Like, oh, I put this girl on 3 fucking hooks, and like now she's a millionaire. Like, it reminds me of the fucking the joke that Dave Chappelle said, where he said that Bill Clinton was so fucking popular that you sucked his dick and boom, now you had a career.
Yeah.
Go be somebody. Right?
Yeah,
That's what it reminds me of Eminem when he puts somebody in the studio like that. Like a girl that he might be attracted to. Boom, go be somebody.
I mean, who knows? But if I had to bet money on it, then, yeah, probably.
I like that because it shows that Eminem is human. Because he's this, he puts off that he's this fucking rap demon machine. And then he shows you that he is that.
Yeah.
Because like the things that he does, like we were talking about how Kanye is a whole fucking podcast. M's a whole podcast.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he's much more private about it. Though. Eminem puts his podcast on his music. Yeah. Kanye, you kind of have to get involved with his social media lore before you can.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's more of an internalized thought with Eminem, and Kanye is such an extrovert in that sense. Kanye, Eminem, definitely the same conversation.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel that Drake could be added to that same conversation, like Drake, Kendrick, and let's put Jay-Z at that table. Let's say Jay-Z, Eminem, Kanye. Do you think that Drake and Kendrick could sit at that table?
Kendrick definitely.
Yeah, Kendrick for sure.
Definitely.
Drake, I don't know. I feel like
I think you like Drake more than me. I have some
do.
predispositions against him. Like, I don't like. To be fair, one of the reasons I don't like him is because he uses a writer. But to be fair, so does Kanye sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that's not.
But
fair.
he doesn't. He's not making beats, right?
Drake?
Does Drake make beats?
I don't know.
No.
No, he has no clue.
Yeah.
But you see, Kanye
Also,
Kanye's more of a
yeah,
composer.
Yeah.
I feel like he gets the credit for
He's
being
more of a
an
creative.
arranger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, Drake's always been like, I'm the guy with the pen.
Mm.
You know, it's me. And he's coming right underneath Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Wayne's pupil,
Yeah.
then you have to have the fucking pen game.
Mhm.
Because Wayne didn't have a fucking pen. He was the punch-in guy. Like,
yeah.
he would freestyle punch, right? But still, to come underneath the Wayne dynasty and have people, like, writing huge songs for you, whether it's just a hook or part of a verse, that's got to do something, especially coming from the era that I came from.
Yeah.
Where if somebody said, oh, you know, they don't write their lyrics, suddenly you were written off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I have a problem putting Drake in that conversation simply because I still do this thing, and I still would never rap another person's lyrics. It's a pride thing.
It's a big deal. Like, and
Right.
I honestly, like, I get it, but I also don't get it. But I still, like, for me personally, I still do that.
Right.
You know, like, I won't. If someone writes me something, I'm not gonna rap it. So it's just like I don't know. I get it. It's a big cultural thing, but it is kind of weird how it's like still pretty strong. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that if you'll lose a lot of respect if you don't write your stuff. Which, I mean, it makes sense.
I'll make an exception. Like, if someone wants me to sing a hook or rap a hook or something, if they're paying me for it, then I'll do it because my name's still going to be associated with those bars.
Yeah.
So if someone's like, oh, this song's about my mom and these bars are special to her, but I need you to do them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know, like, I mean, I might not charge them for that. I might
Yeah.
do that out of love.
Yeah.
But it's got to be really good. I might
Yeah.
tweak it myself. I might be like, oh, this needs to be like this needs to be like
Yeah.
that. Because at the end of the day, that's my brand.
Mhm.
And I don't want anybody to get anything twisted. But that's why I asked about Drake, because I think that people are really sleeping on J. Cole when they look at Drake. And what I mean by that is Drake's the biggest artist in the game if we're looking at streams, if we're looking at endorsements. Like everybody wants to be at the same table with Drake.
Yeah.
Right? But everything that you can say about Drake, you can say about J. Cole, and it can actually mean something. Like, if you want to say that Drake is a lyricist because of the way that he chooses to write on his albums, you notice that that's not how he writes on the Future project?
Yeah.
Or that's not how he writes on the JB Block Boy fucking single?
Yeah.
It's because he knows who he's talking to when he's talking to him. But when you got J. Cole, who went platinum, multi-platinum without a guest appearance on his album, twice he did that.
Yeah.
Or the guy who went on a killing spree for features. The only time we've seen something like that was when Drake first came out, or there's Drake, or when Wayne was killing it, because Wayne had 105 fucking features in 1 year, or the span of like 2 years. Yeah, he murdered the game. There's a reason why they said that he was the best rapper alive at that time point, because Jay was alive still.
Yeah.
But he was out the game.
Yeah.
You know, and Wayne's like, all right, well, you left, nigga. Like, I'm coming, I'm doing my thing. I'm about to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to rapping, I geek out and I always ask these kind of questions because it's not every day that you get a guy, let alone 3 guys, who listen to hip hop, who know a thing or two about hip hop. So I like to get your guys' perspective. And you guys are a different age, way different age than me. I think I'm way older than you guys. So it's really nice to see how we can agree on certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Depending on what we're talking about. So the whole rapping thing's a whole conversation. The whole producer thing's a conversation. I want to talk about, what do you think it takes nowadays to make a hit song that's going to hit with people? Like, I know back in the day there used to be formulas that people would follow, like get the R&B chick on the hook or the R&B dude, and then you can just rap about whatever as long as it's close enough to the... You know, like there was a way to encapsulate a hit. But now with TikTok, which was Musically at one point. I remember when I saw all the little kids doing that. And that's why people still think that TikTok is a kid's app. Because it came from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I noticed on TikTok is there's no formula for making a hit record.
Yeah.
You just have to capture a moment or make something that sounds good. There's a guy named Yeet. Have you heard of him?
I've heard of him, yeah.
I heard it. All of a sudden, I hear a bunch of people talking about
what is it? Like his management team reached out to me about putting on a show. Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't know why I turned it down. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't have the money for the slot at the time or something. But
it blew my mind that he's from the Northwest. You know, from Portland. But also, how he's unapologetically himself to the point of where he doesn't follow any structures whatsoever. He just does whatever he thinks feels good with auto-tune on the beat. And the videos are all fucking crazy. And he has all these little catchphrases and things that he chooses, and his fans go crazy about him.
Yeah.
Like he has a song where he's talking about how the bell makes the song better. And then the fucking bell appears in the video. It's floating around. See, I think that's where the world's heading.
Yeah.
Like that quirkiness that comes along with being an artist. Like you guys mentioned, you alluded a little bit to it earlier when you were talking about your guys' music and your guys' sound. I feel like that's why you guys are having success on TikTok. Because you're kind of like built for that era, that movement. So let's take it back to the question. Do you feel like there's a way that like if we're cooking a hit record, what needs to be present? I know that the beat's got to be important.
I think the one of the most important things. Sorry, I'm getting a call right now.
No, you're good.
Not now, buddy. I think one of the most important things is, what's your market? You know, who are you talking to? And then also making sure that you're still being yourself. If you're trying to make a hit record, then it's now you're more in the business kind of side of it. So you got to figure out what your market is. You know, who do you want to listen to this song? And then now you take everything that is you and you put it into that. So I think if we're doing TikTok, we're making songs for TikTok. So you have to think of something that is very like quick and punchy, and that is like fast. Like you don't have to be there a long time to understand what's going on. And then find your style and how you want to do it, and then put that down, and then you make a short little video, and everything is there, and it's very fast and easy to track with. And so all those people on the internet who have short attention spans hear that, and it's very like they know what it is, so they'll know whether they're into it or not. And, I don't know. That's how I see it. I don't know.
Like the 15 seconds is the whole track, so to speak. Like the amount of creativity and effort that you put into 15 seconds has to be what you would spend on a whole track, because it's a painting, right? It's not a coloring crayon. You know what I'm saying?
On TikTok, you have what is it? You have 2 seconds to capture their attention.
Yeah, you have that. I think that's why people always put or so many people put like a header of saying some like crazy shit at the beginning of the TikTok. That's why I do like your favorite rapper sucks, because then people think
you have to say it like right away.
My favorite rapper doesn't suck. What do you? And people will actually comment that I don't even listen to the rap. Like I'm not fucking talking. But I got your comment anyways.
It's like brain hacking, so to speak.
So it depends who you're talking to, because then also I want to make a song that's lyrical because I like writing, and that's just something that I feel like I'm good at. So then I'll be like, okay, this song isn't for TikTok. This is for people who enjoy rap music. And so how do I cater to them? Okay, well, what do I like doing, and how do I cater to them, and how do I line that up so I'm doing what I want and also giving them what they want? And I like, okay, well, people really like fast. You know, they want it to go fast. I love going fast, so I'll do that. And then this is pretty hard, and then also that, and then at that point, I usually just like lose myself in it, and I'm not really thinking about it like that anymore. I'm just doing what I want to do, and it usually turns out pretty good. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's take it back. I like to add the contrast from you guys to me. When I would try to write a hit record or something that I thought was hit, the beat had to be something that really just.
Like,
I had to
Beats
keep running back.
So
to it,
important.
Like, right. And then when I had that, then I would work on the hook. And sometimes to get the hook, you almost have to recycle your verse. So like I'd write my verse, and then I would say like a couple of the bars like over and over again, and I'd be like, well, damn, I don't think I want to put that in the verse now. So I scrap the verse, take the little 2 lines that are there, refry the whole fucking concept for the hook, and now I got a hook. and now the beat, but I don't have a verse.
Yeah.
Now I'm using the hook to influence the verse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
And then you take the hook, move it, then do the second verse.
Yeah.
Like, that's how we used to do it. Like, and I think that's more of like a mixtape rapper sort of brain. Like,
yeah, that's that's definitely how I think when I write, I don't know about rarely, but usually what I start off writing isn't actually the first verse. It will usually, when I get to a song, and by the time I start writing, I already have a concept for what the song is going to be and like how it's going to go. So by the time I start writing it down, it's like it doesn't make sense for it to be the first thing that people hear. It makes more sense for it to either be the chorus or the second verse. So usually the first verse that I write is actually the second verse, because once I start writing, I have all these ideas, so I know what it's going to be, and then I put that at the second verse, go to the first verse, and I use that time to explain what people are about to hear. So I'm like setting it up, so because people don't understand how my process went into that, so I explain the idea or how it's going, and then the chorus comes, and then that second verse, which I wrote first, comes. That's just, I don't know, that's just how I write most of the time.
It gives them interest back, like, in real time.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. How about you? Do you have any processes that you go through when you approach a song?
My process of what I've always done, and I think this is just, it's just a thing that is part of who I am, is just I just fucking grind all the time. That's just what I do. Like, I just, from my dad was always, you know, you work until you bleed, and then you suck it up, and then once you pass out from blood loss, then you know, wake back up and do it again. Mm-hmm. So it's like I always just I'll just put everything I have into a song pretty much all day until I go to bed. For a while before, like when I was in school, like when I first started writing, I would go to school, get home, do my homework for a couple hours, and then I would write music until I'd go to sleep, and then I'd do it all over again. I think a difference between me and Smalls is he's a very social person, and I think I'd consider myself more introverted. So like I sometimes would only hang out or talk to another person like once a month, because I was just so captured in like my own head of like writing down. A lot of the times I'll like I write everything on my phone. I know that's kind of like that's like weird to like some people, but you know,
it's normal now.
Yeah, it's I think that's a new way of a thing. So a lot of the times when I'm writing stuff, I have a whole just like folder for all of everything that I write, and sometimes it'll only be like a verse, and then I'll get a new idea, and then I'll have to hook it. But I always, if there's a good idea, I'll always remember it, and I usually finish what I start in raps, or if sometimes I'll just write bars, you know, because I'll think of something clever and be like, oh, I gotta write that down, or you know, because if I forget it, I'm gonna lose my mind, because I'm gonna think I lost the greatest bar ever, even though sometimes it's not. A lot of the time they're not, right? Yeah. But I used to get I chilled out a lot more now, but I used to not be able to leave my laptop or my phone, because I'd get so much anxiety that I would lose the captured moment, you know? Like, I went on vacation and I took my fucking laptop with me because I wanted to make sure I didn't...
It wasn't your web history that you were protecting?
Well, that too, you know?
That is funny.
You know, it's just, I just grind at the end of the day.
I feel it, man. That reminds me a lot of me. Because I think that I had like a pain that I was trying to like heal with music, because there were, like, my life was fine. I mean, great parents, you know, great siblings, friends, whatever. But there was just something inside that I just could not fucking understand, and it made it so like I wasn't happy, even though everything was fucking perfect. Like, there was just something that I was like, nah, I don't know what it is, and I tried to find it for years and years and years. And you know what the sick fucking joke about that is? You never find out. And by the time that you are fucking happy with who you are and life is great, you never get that fucking resolution. Like, you don't get that closure. You just know that there was something deeply inside of you that was fucking, it was like a thorn in your side. And yeah, after years and years of grinding and hammering it out and doing what you want to do, doing what you need to do, you'll eventually be the amalgamation of who you were supposed to be. but you won't see the blueprint. The only time you'll ever get glimpses of it is when you're talking like this, and you're like giving people game, and you're like, oh shit. I'm like, you have to say it out loud to put it together sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, shit, this isn't me. I'm channeling something from a higher power. It seems like. So yeah, I'm glad that I heard that from you, because I see a bits of my personality in your story, and even your story too as well. I think that everything is written. Life is too crazy for things to be coincidental. Like, if you link up with people and you have chemistry, that means that's a puzzle piece that goes into a bigger puzzle piece. And when you get the big picture, you see why everything was in motion and in place. Because what are the odds that you two make music and met each other and also like each other as friends, and like everything is just like unpacking and unraveling, like, and then you have found success online. Like, there's a big part of the story that you guys are barely at the doorstep of. So that's why I like to speak greatness into the artists that I talk to, because I've been to levels that I never thought I'd ever reach. I've talked with people. I've worked with people. I remember I was right there with Afro Man while he was signing the Colt 45 can that we ran to the gas station for him to go get. You know what I'm saying? Or Riff Raff when he was trying to get people to go into the back room to snort lines with them. Like, there's just so many different... Sorry, Riff Raff. There's so many different, like, moments in time where I was like, oh, man, one day I'm going to do a song with this guy, or I'm going to be in the same room as this guy. And then it fucking happened. And I know that's not the end for me, because there's still a lot to do. I'm in my early 30s, so I got a lot of time to really kill off and get this shit going. But I get excited when I talk to you guys like you, because like for example, I wanted to do a track with you someday, and I know that that's possible. We can do a song, and I would like to see. I would like to do a song with you too. I would like to see what form you guys take when put into that kind of scenario. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody kind of takes a different form depending on the environment and different things. So we're definitely going to have to work together on something like that. I have a show that I'm going to put together at the end of the year. It's going to be like an album release show / like genre mixer, where I'm going to have rock bands. I'm going to have like pop artists, everybody there. And I'll probably ask you guys if you want to be on the show.
That'd be sick.
Because my whole thing is that I want to make the Northwest come together internally, so that people can drop their beefs and their drama and their little bullshit that they have, and make music together and help each other out the same way you guys help each other out. Like, as a whole, like people who didn't go to school together. You know what I'm saying? But like people, like I'm in Richland, you're in Kennewick, he's in Pasco. Let's do a Richland, Kennewick, Pasco track. There's so much real estate out here that people aren't taking advantage of. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. 100%.
We could create culture here.
Like there's a lot of opportunity in Tri-Cities for sure.
Look at my music videos. I have the fucking bridges in my music videos, and almost like all of them. It's because we have things to be proud of. We have things to represent. We have our own world. We don't have to go look out for anything out there. So that's my main focus. It's in my name. Tory Northwest means that my whole shit is going to be putting the Northwest on the map on a level that nobody can do besides me. I mean, if it means podcasting, if I have to use podcasting as a vehicle to elevate the Northwest, I'm going to do it. I mean, respect. I'm already doing it. Right? So we have to kind of figure out what we want to do with our craft personally, and what we want to do for our city and for our regions, because it's all about the legacy you leave behind. Because one day you're going to have a little boy or a little girl that's going to look up to you, and they're going to be like, okay, I can see where my dad was doing this, but this is when he decided to do this, and then this is when he did that. Like you want it to look recognizable from the outside. We're getting pretty close on a good point to where we want to cut the podcast down short today. But before we get through that, I kind of want to ask you guys a question that's a little off music, but still kind of related. It could be related. If you had a bucket list thing that you needed to cross off your list because you knew you were going to die in 10 years, what would that bucket list item be for each one of you guys? We'll go around the table.
We've been going this way a lot, so maybe we should go that way.
True. You guys are going to make me go first.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
A bucket list for like the next 10 years.
Yeah, it could be anything, but it's something that you know that if you had enough power for one last move, one last anything, that's what it would go to.
I really would like to make just like an album, kind of, For Your Eyes Only, something like that. Just like a real encapsulation of my inner self, or like 17 by X.
Okay.
It's one of those albums, and just put something like that out.
Something to speak for you, for your legacy, who you are as a person.
Yeah, exactly.
So would you be rapping on it, or would it just be your beats?
Yeah, rapping.
Nice.
Try and get as many people as I can get on it. Try and produce all the beats for it.
Okay. You're gonna make that album, right?
Yeah.
Because if that's a bucket list item, you have all the ingredients that you need to do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got your own studio. You got your own way to record yourself, mix yourself. You have the best rappers that you can find to do like guest features, and then you can really put that time and effort into it. So you don't have to die or wait 10 years.
I've already started.
You can already do that. Okay? Next time I ask you that, I want to see some impossible shit. All right, your turn.
I think that is a difficult question because there's so many things that you want that you can do in 10 years, right? Or that I would want to do in the next 10 years. Mm-hmm. But I think the number one goal that I've been focusing on pretty much ever since I decided, okay, music is what I want to do, mm-hmm. is making a big enough name for myself and the people around me that we can just survive solely off doing what we love, which would be making music for now, and I can see myself easily doing this for the next 10 years. So
make a career out of it.
Yeah, making get enough money to be coming in where it's better than working at fucking whatever job I can get with my fucking high school degree.
So maybe like a Grammy would be like a bucket list or something like that, because you're totally right. That is a bucket list item if you had the whole 10 years to get to it, right? Mm-hmm. But what's the moment? Like I have almost like a magical wish. You said an album, and a genie could totally go like that, and boom, there's the album you're talking about, right? So I guess I'm not letting you off the hook that easy, because yes, we all want that. We all want what you're describing. Mm-hmm. But and the reason why I'm asking in this format is because I believe in the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. I believe about talking things into existence and manifesting it. So that's what this whole exercise is about. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to let you off that easy. If you had to think, what is the fruit of all that labor that is your bucket list?
I think it's not, for me, it wouldn't be something so, not really like...
Not cliche.
An object or like, oh, I need to get this many numbers or get this achievement from this academy or whatever. I want the people who have given me like life in able to do this music. Like I wouldn't be confident in who I am. I wouldn't be anything that I am today without Smalls and my other friends to give me this outlet for music to and I mean I didn't really say Jackson there, not to diss him, but I just met Jackson.
Your other friend.
So we still have, me and Jackson still have to grow in our relationship that we have, but I think
airing you out right here. No.
I think if I were to die in the next 10 years, I'd want to die knowing that I didn't have to be around anymore for these guys to live and have a flourishing career.
Okay. That's good. We could put something, like I could put that together in my head and get exactly what you mean. What about you?
I think like a bucket list thing. I think if I could at some point make the whole world just like stop for a second and just be like what the fuck, like at like what I'm doing, like you know the movement that I'm trying to make.
Kind of have
and
like
just like
a moment where you stop the clock.
Yeah, and like everybody just like drops kind of like what they're doing, and it's just like, whoa, this is like something's happening here, something real is happening here, and the world kind of collectively had some sort of thought, or maybe changed some sort of thought, or you know something.
I feel like Kendrick Lamar, you know, like some of the big guys have had moments like that, like, where it changed hip hop.
Yeah, and like for sure, like Eminem when he was, you know, like it was just crazy. Like it was just like, all anyone was thinking or talking about. And I think if I could just have just that moment, whether it's just like a day, a week, anything, like whether it comes with a project, probably, and it just gets like this reaction on like a global scale that makes people just like think, then I think I would be satisfied with that.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Mine would be a book. I want to have the book written. And the reason being is because anybody who had any kind of feelings about me, whether good or bad, they could take it up with the book. If they read the book, they would know exactly who I was.
You want to write it or have someone write about you?
I want it to be my words, but I want someone to do the hard work of
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that kind of shit.
Did you read what was it? Logic's This Bright Future, the autobiography?
I might have missed it.
You might have missed it. Yeah, it was like a 16-hour read, so probably missed it. But I listened to the whole thing on Audible in like one day.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
I think it's cool when
I really
takes the extra step.
Yeah, I really like how he did that, and he wrote his whole life out and kind of explained everything. So it's like when you finished reading it, it was just like you had this greater understanding of who he was as a person and like how he is the way that he is. And when you just saying that just reminded me of that.
It's crazy his ADD or ADHD that he has could totally fill that 16 fucking hours up pretty perfect.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Because Logic, he's got kind of like you have the ADHD.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that on lock. That's why his rapping is so, you know, incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that we should wind it down.
Yep.
I think that we got some really good stuff. I want you guys to plug in your usernames where people can like get connected with you if they want to talk to you, if they want to collaborate or anything like that. Where they can find your music at, you know, music videos if you have them, and just, you know, like a final statement that you want to let my listeners know about.
Yeah. So you can find me on any social media platform at smalls_509. The YouTube, what is it? Gutter Boys.
Gutter Boys, yeah. You'll find it.
Just Gutter Boys on YouTube. Final statement, just, you know, be yourself. Don't try to be something that you're not. Stay true. Cheesy as fuck, but it's true.
Tricks. You can find me anywhere by looking up just Tricks, I'm sure, but if you want specifics, Instagram, 6tricks, SIXTRIXX, same thing for TikTok, and YouTube is just Tricks, and Gutta Boys right now, that's what we're focusing on. So if you type Gutta Boys anywhere, you'll find it. Stream our new song, Special Freestyle. All proceeds go to kids with special needs. So if you do, thank you.
Very cool.
Yeah, JXO Beats FR. That's my Instagram too. I don't really got much inspirational shit to say to the world, but I don't know. Just stay tuned because it's gonna go crazy.
Very cool. Okay, and I didn't ask what projects are coming.
That's actually a good question. So, like I said, that single's coming on Friday, and then us three collectively are working on the first Gutter Boys mixtape. So that will hopefully
within the next, I can guarantee it will be out within the next 3 months.
2-3 months, yeah. Hopefully 2.
Yeah. Watch out. Keep your eyes open for Don't Worry, I'm Not Contagious.
Yeah.
Is that your solo project?
That's our mixtape, yeah. Don't Worry, I'm Not Contagious.
What about you? What about your solo work?
Solo work, I'm always working on stuff that I'm going to be putting out on my own, of course. Nothing right now that I'm putting out has a name, but just keep an eye on me. I'm always talking shit, so,
yeah.
you know.
I'll also be dropping a project this year.
by myself.
All right. I'm really happy that we sat down and did this. I think that you guys are going to play a pivotal role in how people look at the Northwest and the Tri-Cities as far as music goes. Because if you guys are just starting off and you guys are this serious and this talented, I know what the next 5 years is going to look like. I know what the next 10 years is going to look like. It's definitely not going to be a graveyard, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just want you guys to keep pushing and keep your mind open to working with other artists and doing shows in different areas, because there's been times where I did shows where I thought there was going to be 50 people there and there was 500 people there, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
thinking that there was going to be
there.
500.
Yeah.
and-
Definitely been there.
Yeah, we've been there.
And also, you guys know this already, but perform like there is 500 people, even if there's 5.
Oh, yeah.
Because one people, you could be making their whole life. Like, they'll never go to another rap performance again, but the one that they went to, they saw you going ape shit with fucking overalls on, throwing water on everybody, you know, about the mosh and everything.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to say as far as that goes. You know, I don't like to shower with gems and everything, but, you know, we like to tuck them into the podcast. So when they do listen, it's an extra bonus for them listening, because you can pick up what's going on.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're going to wrap this up. You've been listening to Tri-Town Tory's Tory Talk. One love, coming straight from the Northwest. And we out.